Hey everyone, welcome to the Consulting Success Livestream. Today, I have 3 tips for you to help you to land more deals, to speed up your sales cycle, and more importantly, to have more powerful and positive conversations with your ideal consulting clients. So 3 tips coming up. Let's get right into it. All right, welcome back everyone to the Consulting Success live stream. It is 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday, this is where I am answering your questions and sharing insights and ideas and principles and strategies or tactics from time to time to help you to grow your consulting business. I see we have people join us. A big welcome to all of you that are coming online right now. I'm sure we'll have others join us as we go forward. But today, what we're going to be talking about is really how to have more powerful conversations with your ideal clients, how to shorten your sales cycle. And this all is related to objections and how you deal with objections. So I see a few of you on here right now. I'd love to know, how do you feel about objections? Just go ahead and type in the comment box. I'll try and keep my eye there as well. How do you feel when I say the word objections? What's your natural reaction to objections? Do you try and avoid them? Do you encourage them? Does it make your stomach feel a little bit uncomfortable? Do you feel excited? When you hear the word objections, how do you feel about that? Go ahead and type in the comment box. Let me know, because this is going to be central to what we're going to be talking about here today. Again, welcome to those of you joining. I'm going to be sharing 3 tips, all related to dealing with objections. And this will help you to shorten your sales cycle. This will help you to have more powerful and meaningful conversations with your ideal clients. Ultimately, it'll help you to win more consulting business. And if that's central to you, if you want to grow your consulting business, then the 3 tips we're going to be going over here today will really help you with this. So go ahead in the comment box, in the chat box, let me know, how do you feel about objections, right? Most people are not comfortable with the idea of objections, right? An objection is something that they typically would try and stay away from. Objections is often a reason why people don't want to send emails, make phone calls, do follow up, go up and walk up to somebody or reach out to somebody that they don't really have a relationship with yet, because they're worried about the response. They're worried about potentially being turned down. They're worried that if they make an offering, right, they extend an invitation, they say something, the other person will object to it, and that they therefore might not look good to that other person or to the community around them. But objections are something that you actually don't want to hide from, right? You want to welcome objections. So here we go. William, great to have you on. You're saying there are opportunities, though I'm not great at capitalizing on them. Fantastic. That's totally okay. That means that your mindset's in the right place, William. And I'm going to offer you 3 very specific tips to help you to actually get a lot out of objections. Vincente is saying, I always appreciate a reasonable objection, helps you to improve 100%. So you guys are in the right place. We are aligned with how we think about objections, right? Because the more that you welcome objections, the stronger that your business can actually become, right? The stronger that your messaging can become, that your offerings can become. Everything that you do in your business ultimately is based on feedback from the marketplace, right? You can have the best idea in the world for what your messaging should be, who your ideal clients are, a new product, a new service. But when you put that out into the world, right, if the feedback that you get is not positive, then it doesn't matter that you think it's a great idea if the market doesn't. So getting the objection, right, receiving feedback, that's really the way that I would encourage you to look at the word objection, right? Many people think about an objection as a negative word. I would actually encourage you to shift that word. And when you think objection, think feedback, because feedback is a positive thing, right? The more feedback that you can receive specifically from your ideal clients, the stronger your business will become, right? Does that make sense, everyone? Go ahead and just type in the chat box. Let me know if you're following along. Let me know if that makes sense to you here, or if you see that differently. I'd love to see your comments. A big welcome to all of you joining in here today for the live stream. So let's get right into the 3 tips that I want to offer you here today. So these are 3 very specific things that you can do in relation to objections. And again, this is to get greater feedback from the marketplace so that you can strengthen your business, win more clients, right? Have more meaningful and valuable conversations. So the first thing that you want to do when it comes to dealing with objections in your consulting business is to start and prepare for them. Now, if you are brand new. How many of you here are brand new to the world of consulting? Just go ahead and type in the comment box. Welcome to those of you on Twitter right now, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Let me know where you're joining in from, where you're based. Always love seeing that. But also let me know in terms of objections, right? You want to prepare for them. How many of you are brand new to consulting, and how many of you have been consulting for a period of time? Just type in the comment box there. How many years have you been consulting for? Because depending on how long you have been consulting for, you may already know the objections that you're going to face, or you may not, right? So if you are brand new, you might not know what objections you're going to face. And if that's the case, there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one is you can just take almost, make some assumptions as to what you believe you might face and write those things down. The other option that you have is to go out and engage in conversation with people that are either potential ideal clients or other consultants or people in different associations or those that work in your industry, to ask them a whole bunch of questions, right? To engage in a conversation and learn from that what people are thinking about, what they might be concerned about, what their frustrations are. And therefore, you can start to assemble a bit of a hypothesis around what those questions might be. If you've been consulting for quite some time, right? So I'm seeing Pedro saying here 2.5 years. Belinda saying still can't deal with objections. Okay, well, Belinda, we're going to help you out with that here today. Even though you're not new, that's okay, right? So what you want to do, and this is what I want to encourage all of you to do right now, is to make a list of all the objections that you believe you're going to encounter or that you have already encountered to this point, right? This is a train kind of based on a training that we did with some of our clients in the Clarity coaching program that we run at Consulting Success. And we've seen massive transformation and results when people start to implement these 3 tips that I'm about to share with you here today. So the first one, right, is to make a list of all the objections. And so the more comprehensive the list that you make, right, just put it on paper. Don't overthink them. Just list out all the potential objections, concerns, frustrations, hesitations, right, risks that your ideal clients might see. And then once you've made that list, the next thing that you want to do is you want to start to prepare for those objections. And when I say prepare, what do I mean? I mean that you actually want to write down, how would you overcome that? If somebody says, oh yeah, no, we don't have enough money. Well, how do you deal with that? If somebody says, well, we're already working on another project in the same area, how do you potentially deal with that? If somebody says, well, yeah, we don't have the time, how do you potentially deal with that, right? So you want to think about all the most common objections that you might face in your specific situation, in your industry. And there's several of these that are common, and some of them I just mentioned, that are common amongst and across all different industries in consulting. But you make this list, you prepare for it. Now, when you prepare for it, what happens? Well, now when you encounter that objection, you're going to be in a much better place to deal with it because you've already prepared for it. Not only that, you can actually be proactive. And I'll talk about that here coming up in step number 3. Let's now go to the second tip that I have for you, the second thing that you can do, which is to begin collecting new objections as you encounter them. And this is where the mindset piece is so critical, everyone, because if you start, and when you start, I should say, to shift your mindset from looking at objections as something that is negative and that you want to kind of stay away from, but you flip that to actually seeing objections as feedback. And the more feedback that you can get from the marketplace that we mentioned before, the better. Well, now that's going to give you even more reason to go out and have conversations with potential ideal clients and people working in your industry. And so even though you might have prepared, let's say, 10 different objections that you believe are common, and maybe you've dealt with those quite well in a conversation that you had with a prospective client, but now all of a sudden, let's say you're in another conversation today and you hear a completely new objection that you've never prepared for, you never even thought about. Fantastic. Don't be concerned about that. Don't think, oh, I should have done something differently about that. That's okay. You're not going to be perfect. None of us are. But you collect that objection and every other objection that you hear going forward. And now you take that and you work it into your preparation, right? So now you think, well, okay, I heard that. Maybe I had a good answer for it. Maybe I didn't. But you use that to make yourself stronger. So that the next conversation that you have, right, you're already prepared for that objection because you've heard it before. And that's why one of the biggest distinctions that I see between consultants who are successful and those who struggle, those who are successful have a true commitment to always improving themselves, right? They look at every interaction they have not as, oh yeah, like I'm not cut out for this, or I didn't do that well. They go, okay, this one specific interaction did not go the way that I planned, but I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to get better from it. I'm going to become stronger, right? And that consistent commitment and that persistence was really what makes the difference for them. because they're always getting better and better. They're always getting stronger and stronger with every single interaction that they have, right? And that should be you. Does that make sense, everyone? Let me know in the comment box, in the chat box there, if that resonates with you. Give me give a quick thumbs up if you appreciate that. If you're seeing kind of some new things, if you're getting some new ideas about things that you can do in your business, in your consulting business to improve, to strengthen your business, give a quick little thumbs up, hit that share button, hit the follow button, hit the like button, because the third tip, which I'm about to get to, is actually the game changer. This is the one of the biggest ones that I'll see, or I should say, I don't see many people doing. But when you do it, you can see extraordinary and just really exceptional results. And that might sound like a bit of hype. I don't mean it to be so. This is really very straightforward. Again, we've put this into practice with many of our clients in our Clarity Coaching program, and the results have been just tremendous. This is like a really hardcore, straight to the point principle. There's no fancy stuff, no shiny objects, no fluff. This is really what it's all about. So number one, I'll go back to this and I'm going to go to number 3, right? You make that list of all potential objections, you prepare for them. Number 2, as you encounter new objections, right, you then add that to your list and you prepare for them again. But here's where the rubber meets the road, as they say, right? Here's where things really become different, or you can start to see just massive results for the better. Number 3 is you take all of these objections that you've been receiving and all these objections that you've been preparing for, and what you do is you work them into your conversations before they actually happen, right? So rather than having to be reactive, like if I'm falling backwards, right, because I'm having to react to a situation, that's much harder. If a prospective client brings up an objection and I have to then respond to it, I can still respond to it if I'm prepared for it, and navigate that to a positive result. But if you can actually work that objection in before it comes up, meaning that you speak to that objection. So let's just take one example. Let's say that an objection that you often hear, or that you believe that you hear, is that your prices are high. Well, that's probably for a strategic reason. You charge premium fees because you do great work, because maybe you don't want to work with as many clients. You want to focus more on value over volume. Great. If that's the case, then you might even work into your conversation and say, we're not the cheapest firm, but it's because ... right? So you've prepared a reason for that. You've already dealt with that potential objection that you cost more, and it's because of X. So you've planted that seed in the buyer's mind, right? In the prospective client's mind, so that they're not going to start wondering, oh yeah, this is more than somebody else. You've already given them the reason as to why your pricing might be higher than somebody else, right? So that's dealing with an objection before it even happens. Do you guys all see the power of that? Does that make sense? Here, just go ahead again, type in the chat box. I'm trying to look at the comments as I'm navigating the screen here, but let me know if that makes sense. And if you see how bringing that up in advance can really make a difference. Go ahead. I know it just takes a second here for it to often appear on my side in StreamYard. That's the first part of number 3. Now, the second part of number 3, I would say is almost even a bigger opportunity, or put another way, it's what most people don't do, but it's a really, really big opportunity for you. And that is to work these objections into your content, right? So imagine somebody comes to your website, somebody comes to your LinkedIn profile. Well, imagine when you start bringing these objections that people might encounter or might bring up to you, and you actually weave that into your sales page, or into your services page, or your homepage, or your LinkedIn profile, or when you send a proposal, or all these different things, right, where objections might come up. As you start weaving these objection overcoming kind of language, right, into your marketing materials, you get to actually deal with that objection before it potentially even has to come up. And you don't even have to be the one to now bring it up on a conversation. You still can if you need to, but you're actually allowing your materials to do a lot of that heavy lifting and a lot of that work for you. All right, so I'm seeing many people here, Belinda, Vincente, Eddie, and William, all saying this makes sense. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. So that is the opportunity. I want to encourage you. Okay, someone's here, LinkedIn user saying, I love bringing the objections into content, going to start today. Yes, fantastic. That's what I want. This is really the goal of me doing these live streams for you all, is to provide you with actionable insights and ideas and strategies and tactics that you can put into practice today, right away. And then I hope that by doing so, you will start to see the power of that. Now, some of you might be thinking, all right, this is great. And I'm going to start doing this right away, but I'd like a little bit more guidance. I'd like a little bit more support. If that's the case, if you would like personal coaching and support to really help you to grow your consulting business, you can go to consultingsuccess.com/coaching. That's it. That's all I'm going to mention. No other pitches. Just that if you're finding this helpful and you'd like help to grow your consulting business. You don't want to do it all yourself. You want proven step-by-step guidance and coaching and strategies. You can go to consultingsuccess.com/coaching to find out more. There you guys have it. 3 tips we went over here today to turn objections into opportunities. Looking at objections, right, as feedback. So again, number 1, make that list, right? Prepare. Number 2, collect new objections as you encounter them. Number 3, work those objections into your content and into your conversations. That's a game changer. All right, everyone. I will open up here right now if there are any questions on this topic. But if you are looking for any assistance, you can go to the information here or the link on this page. If you do have questions that you'd like to submit for, or a topic that you'd like me to dive into in our next live stream, which is next Tuesday, you can go to consultingsuccess.com/stream. Whoever put the little heart button up there or a little thumbs up, I appreciate all of you for doing that. I see a bunch of those in the top of my screen, at least on StreamYard. So I really appreciate that. Thank you guys all for the comments. I'm glad this has been helpful based on what you've all shared here. If you do have any other questions, just go ahead and type them into the chat box right now. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes. And I always appreciate when you guys hit subscribe, when you share this, when you let other people in your network know about these live streams, because the more people we get onto them, the bigger the community, right? The more valuable this becomes for everybody. People might ask questions that you weren't thinking of or that you appreciate getting a response to. That's what the community is all about. So thank you all for doing that. Whoever LinkedIn user doesn't say your name, but if you have a question right now, you can definitely ask your question right now. Just type in the comment box, or if there's a topic you want to submit for me to dive into next time, you can go to consultingsuccess.com/stream, STREAM, and submit your question there. And we always review those, and then those give us ideas for the next week's live streams. And we also love to shout out and just give a little shout out to those of you who have submitted a question. But yeah, if anyone has a question here today, let me know. Just type it in the comment box. I'll hang out for another couple of minutes. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. I'm seeing more and more hearts and likes being kind of pushed here. Again, you can subscribe, hit the follow button. That way you'll get notified as we release new videos. In addition to these weekly live streams, we also put a lot of content on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on all the platforms. And so if you want to be notified when we share those new case studies, those new strategies, those new free guides and free materials, interviews, things of that nature, then just make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button, and that way you'll get notified as soon as we put out new content. I'm not seeing any new questions coming in right now. Thank you all so much for joining here today. Make it a great day. Take massive action. Please think about implementing these 3 steps right away into your business. I really believe that they'll make a difference for you. All right, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now, everyone.